After joining, I pretty much had one call with Jacob. I had like a 6K day,
So what's the profit margins on this one?
80% profit. It's been like life-changing.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be an interesting one. I think we should get right
Yeah.
into it. Maybe tell your story, how everything went.
Well, I started organic, I think like a year ago at this point. Well, at the beginning, I didn't do it like, I wasn't doing like 3 videos a day at the beginning. I did like maybe a couple months where I was just like playing with it. Yeah, I guess I kept going with it and I ended up joining the program in like May, or no, it was like the end of May. And around that point, I kind of decided to like forget about paid ads, and I was also like day trading at the time, so I kind of just like put everything aside and like I need to just focus on this.
Yeah.
I feel like I found you on YouTube, and then I saw your case study with Mikey, as I'm sure a lot of people did before joining. But yeah, that was around when I joined, and yeah, things kind of have taken off well pretty quickly after joining, because I guess I can tell the story of when I joined.
Yeah.
I basically had an account with 150 million views, around that, maybe even more. And I had like 10K in sales. I didn't realize it at the time how awful that was. Obviously, I do now, and obviously Michael did when we had the call after joining. I pretty much had one call with Jacob like 2 or 3 days after joining, and then I think I sent you a message like 10 or 12 days in. I had like a 6K day with that product.
If you have the virality one down, it's very simple. Like if you know how to go viral already and it's just about selling, it's very quick fixes. And this is for everybody. If you know how to go viral, but you're not making sales, you will make your money back, what you pay to us in the first month guaranteed. Like it's so easy.
Yeah.
Um,
We did like the payment program, or like the monthly payment thing, because I didn't have all the money, to be honest with you. I had part of it, but I was fairly confident, and I saw how confident you were, so I went for it. And it was also like summer for me, so I'm in college still, so I knew I could go full time like during the summer.
yeah, maybe you can share your screen so we can go through the numbers, how everything went.
Yeah, so you can see like the peak at like 2.8. I think the account took off pretty quickly for me, like within like 4 days. I had like 4 videos, like over 1 million views. And then this peak here was like, I had a video with like 80 million views or something. And then, I mean, you
80
can
million
pretty,
views and $5,000 made.
yep, yep.
We're
And
gonna get into what went wrong there and what you're doing right now. But yeah, and this is all you doing but by yourself, and then it basically blew up pretty quickly to like
well, yeah,
8.
you can see pretty clearly when
Yeah.
happened. But and yeah, when Jacob told me what I needed to do, I'm like, I kind of felt stupid. I'm like it wasn't like that complicated, but it's just
Mhm.
like I just didn't like think of it or anything.
Yeah, yeah. So this was the initial product. We're gonna get into the next product soon, but there's also a pretty bad story and a bad twist in for that product if you don't want to tell that. So yeah,
I would love to expose his Instagram if
go
we
for it,
could,
bro.
but
Go for it, so people
go
don't
for
expect
it.
it again.
Some guy messaged me on Instagram. He made like an offer on my account. It had like 140,000 followers. See, initially I think he offered like 15K initially, and then he was like asking how much was
Just
in
for
my
context,
crate.
to buy the account. So 50, he
Yeah.
offered 15K to buy the account. Yeah.
And then I told him how much was in the creator fund, and then he's like, "Oh, I should give you more than if that's like how much you're making from it." And then he offered like 25K, and I think I still turned him down because I think Pepe's like initially said that I should just keep going with the account.
Mhm.
So then he offered even more, and then you guys were like, "Obviously, take it if it's like legit." It seemed legit, and I know you were saying that I had to do it through like a middleman, like no matter what.
I'm gonna play the text over here. I said it's not legit. I was saying it doesn't seem legit at all.
I had a gut feeling that it wasn't either, but I was being so careful. Like I think he almost got me like one like the day before or something. I like backed out because I saw what was happening. I let myself be overcome by the money that he was offering, and
He
like
offered like 50K in the end.
which is probably way more than the account is worth.
So
Yeah, he pretty much got it and got the
let's go
account.
through kind of the red flags which were there and what generally everybody should avoid when something like this happens.
Okay, if they seem like overly urgent for no reason, that's probably the biggest red flag. Obviously, if they're like offering more than the account is worth too. But I didn't know what it was worth. I probably should have. But sometimes when they offer more, you just think, oh, that sounds so good. Like,
I would say there were a couple of other red flags. So number one is he jumped on the negotiation from 25K to 50K like this without anything. Like there was no extra additional information which you gave him. He said
yeah, the
25K
only
and all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's do 50K. Fuck it. That's what he said. And that was the moment where like, I was like, how do you plan on making the transaction? Are you sure that this is legit and stuff? Like that was my first like weird moment. And then the second really, really big weird moment was that this guy didn't want to do it through a middleman. So there's a bunch of websites where you can just have a middleman where the money is held and you cannot get scammed. Basically, it's like Flippa or something like that, or even Shopify Marketplace where you can actually like you sell it in a legit way where you don't give him the login and then he sends you the money, or he sends you the money and then you give him the login. There's both parties which can scam each other, and those middlemen basically kind of take that risk out. And for whatever reason, he didn't want to do it, and that was the moment where I was like, all right, no.
He said he got like scammed by one or something. Like he had like a specific one that he said he used and he got scammed on it. And
yeah,
obviously it's bullshit. But
that was that lesson learned. It happens. Now you said that you could get the account back somehow.
I did finally get it back after like 2 months. I finally got through to TikTok and they verified that it's mine and I got it back.
What did he do with it? Like, did he start keep posting, or what did he do with it?
He posted like some like haunted, like spooky videos or whatever. He posted like 10 maybe, but he deleted all of my most like viral videos. He made the rest of them like private. So I put all the private ones back up, and I think I still had like 2.2 million likes, but I think I had like 9 million likes before. So the majority of them are gone. The account's probably finished, honestly, after deleting that many videos. But
Yeah. So okay, so you got the account back again. Lesson learned happens.
yeah,
But I mean, in the end of the day, the interesting part about it was that how long did it take till you got the next product running?
I think at the point of losing the account, I had already like started getting sales from the other product. I don't know the exact timeline, but I know soon after I lost the account, like the new one.
Maybe go to the other store, which you with the second store basically.
I started getting sales around June 10th, which is the time frame that I have. I just have the last 2 months here. See this one. I don't know exactly when I lost it. I mean, I could look at my Instagram
But yeah,
and see.
whatever. But it didn't take long. My
Yeah.
point was that it was very, very quick in between this going down and the next one starting. And the key takeaway is if you know how to go viral and sell, you will sell and go viral. So you don't need like one specific account for it. It's mainly, again, about the skill. And if you have that, it's not a big deal to lose one thing, even though it sucks. Whatever. First of all, what was the process like of building up the second store? Were you like super discouraged, or was it like whatever happens and let's move on?
I wasn't discouraged at all. I think I was more motivated than anything because I was mad at myself for letting it happen. And I was fairly confident that I could do it again. I know that the number of views I had in that account, I might never do again, or it might be a while before I do that again. But I know I could replicate it for sure. And yeah, that's what I did. And this one actually has a significantly higher profit margin too than the other one. But
even better. So what's the profit margin on this one?
First 75% of the sales, maybe it was like 70% profit margin. And then I was split testing higher prices, and the higher price actually, was more profitable. And then I negotiated with the supplier to get a haircut on that price as well. So now it's like the last like 25% is more like 80% profit.
So 80% margins on this product alone, which obviously again is only possible with organic. Nothing even comes close to that. Also, you wanted to expose the guy.
Let's do it. I saw in my messages after I got the account back, he was trying to buy more accounts, like using
with your account.
Like messaging people through my account. It's like it had.
So probably the one he messaged you with is also just stolen, and it's probably not even him.
Yep.
So do not accept messages from this guy. Don't accept offers from him. And generally from anybody texting you. The offers, if they sound too good to be true, they probably are. In some cases, they actually are legit, but you shouldn't take any risk. Don't take any extra risk. And just because somebody promises you a bunch of money doesn't mean anything.
Just just think of the money as fake until you actually have it in your account.
How do you generally structure your day? How many videos do you post per day? How do you structure everything?
Well, I do my video making like right away in the morning usually, and then I make sure I always have videos filmed at least the day ahead of time so that I can make them in the morning and then post them throughout the day. Obviously, I do 3 videos per account. I mean, a couple of the products that I've started recently, I'm doing like more than one account for various reasons. But I'd say right now, yesterday, for example, I think I posted 13 TikToks and then obviously repost on Instagram and YouTube. I mean, I've had points where I was a little bit lower than 13 and I've had some where I was a little bit higher. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing it full time, so I've been just grinding, you know.
Yeah. How many products are you testing usually? Like how many at the same time, and also how many new ones per month?
I usually do 3 or 4 at a time. I need to do some more product research now because I've been struggling a little bit to make time for it, but I need to make sure I make time for it because that's like the most important part. But you really gotta scroll sometimes to find new stuff. And
But that's just the foundation. It makes everything easier. Overall, over let's say the next over the last like 3 months, how much profit did you make overall? Just roundabout.
well, since like joining, I would say 25,000 profit.
Amazing, amazing. And this is something which it came very naturally because you already had the going viral factor. But what would you say was generally the most helpful? Was it just learning how to sell or something else?
Yeah, learning how to sell was probably the biggest part, but it's also like when I was doing it on my own, any problem or like question I had, it like the only solution was to just figure it out myself. Like when you're starting, there's just so many unknowns and you don't know which one you need to worry about and which one you don't need to worry about. Just having someone to like give you the right thing to do and give you the confidence to like know you just got to keep putting in the work and you'll get it eventually
Mhm.
is just like really helpful. Honestly, just having the calls, like even the times that I like don't ask any questions, but just like being there and like just like absorbing what's going on, like what products are saturated and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And without those calls, like I probably wouldn't ever know most of that.
Yeah, definitely. What are your like kind of main obstacles currently from scaling? What's the main roadblocks?
With the product I'm doing right now, it has slowed down a little bit. I mean, mainly I'm struggling to go viral with it again. I've pretty much been going viral on Instagram mostly, but I actually haven't gone viral on TikTok for it in like over a month. I'm basically experimenting with different styles of videos because you know the ones I've gone viral with are just like pretty much like a single text on the screen. But for the most part, that's what has been working for me and other people with the product. So I don't know if it now needs like maybe like a voiceover, for example, or like more intricate storylines to go viral again. So that's kind of what I'm trying. But I'm
Mhm.
also still doing what worked before. But yeah, I'm just trying to do it again, you know, go viral again.
Got it. Okay. And what are your goals for the next like 6 to 12 months? Where do you want to be at?
I made my first hire like 2 weeks ago. I've been working with him. He's actually one of my roommates. He got his first sale a few days ago, which is pretty good in 2 weeks. At least I sure as hell know I didn't do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep working with him, and I've never had two like products going viral like at the same time. That's like my goal kind of, and I think when I get to that point, I'll maybe look to hire a second or maybe a third person. Obviously, I'll probably talk to you about that first, obviously, but
Yeah.
having multiple winning products at the same time is probably my goal because when you just have one, it's always up and down, and I'd like to smooth the curve out a little bit. Hiring is going to be really helpful for me. I have 1 semester of college left, so I'm gonna have to take a little step back
Mhm.
just to get through the rest of that. But having people,
I'm always curious when things do kind of well, what the motivation behind the college stuff is, because I've seen it with a couple of people who actually are doing well. Some people, I've seen people making like 5 million plus and still not quitting college.
that's
So
crazy.
I'm curious what the motivation for you is.
Well, I got my 4 year degree in like 2.5 years, so I got it done pretty quick. And I just have 1 semester left, and like it's just taken off recently, and I feel like I need to just get through it. I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be worth dropping out at this point. I might as well just get my piece of paper, and
And not do anything with it after that.
I mean, maybe I'll need it at some point, maybe not. I mean, obviously my goal is to pursue what I'm doing right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, it honestly it kind of took me going to college to realize that that wasn't for me. That like college and like the 9 to 5 stuff, like it's just not for me. So I was determined to make something else work, and I'm glad I
I feel like that's a very big learning. The same thing was for me. It took me like 1 year of doing straight mentorship, internships. So I was doing like, I think 9 or 10 months in a row. I was doing like internships in different countries and different companies, and everything sucked. I hated everything. And my
yeah
biggest learning from doing all of that was just, this is not for me, which I feel like is a huge
yeah
one. And a lot of people, it takes much, much longer than that. And I think that is a learning. That it was worth it to go to college to understand that. And for me, it was worth it to take this
yeah.
1 year of understanding it before doing anything else. I'm just curious, what do you actually study?
I'm majoring in data science, and well, I'm doing my certificate or minor in entrepreneurship now because
Where did you learn more about entrepreneurship?
I didn't learn anything in that. I mean, I haven't taken all the classes, but I've taken a few for it, and I haven't used any of that in like at all in what I'm doing now. And
Yeah, so it's very impractical when you start a business. College business is very useful if you have a business with like around 100 to 200 employees. It starts to be
right,
actually very useful because that's what it's for. Like
right,
you study to be one of the marketing guys, for example, for another big company which already have a bunch of people, and there it actually makes sense. If you want to start your own thing, studying entrepreneurship is not connected to that. It's just a different thing.
it's definitely it's gonna be a struggle the last semester just getting myself to do it. I mean, I usually find a way to do as little work as possible, and to get by with like the B at least. But it was a struggle last semester towards the end, especially. I'm gonna get through it.
Yeah, like it's generally very difficult to do something which where you don't really see a point in. I've seen this, for example, with my little brother who couldn't drop, like he at this point did drop out of school, and he's 16, but he couldn't drop out of school before he reached, I think, 10th grade because it's illegal in Germany. So he
Yeah,
literally had this like last year or so of just learning French or doing bullshit, and he was like, bro, I don't understand what I'm doing. The only reason why I'm doing it is not because if he would have not passed everything, then he would have had to do it again. So it's 1 year even more. So that was literally the only reason why he was doing it. But I've seen it
yeah,
makes it much, much more difficult. And that was also a big learning for me with hiring, where the people who do something, they need to understand the point of what they're doing exactly. And it's a
yeah,
very, very important learning overall, not only with like college or school or whatever, but I've seen this with like a bunch of people here in the office. I need to explain why they do certain things like they do it, because if they don't, it's just a thing I told them. They don't understand the background. And if there's some situation which is similar but different, they're going to do a different thing. But if they know what the goal is, they understand, all right, I generally need to go in this direction, and it makes everything so much easier. So just setting up rules versus like exact guidelines helps a ton. Yeah. So you said you hired your first creator now, and
yeah.
you want to scale with him together. Yeah. Like when you go to college and do that stuff, how much time would you have left for the organic stuff per day?
This is kind of hard for me to say. It really depends on how difficult and time consuming the classes are because it can really vary. It also depends on how like easily they come to me. But I would say I could probably still do like 9 videos a day, I think.
Nine
Um,
videos a day.
yeah, with
How long does that take you?
it also depends on the product because
On average, with let's say this product, like with the main one.
I'd say 3 videos for this product between like all together filming and editing and stuff. Maybe like 20, 30 minutes a
Per
video.
video? Per video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty good. That's definitely good. We've seen like when you're starting out, it's going to take around an hour per video to
Yeah.
to get started with, and then obviously time decreases by just repetition. But also there are products which are very annoying to film, and then you're going to have to sit like for 2.5 hours straight for each video.
Yeah. Actually, the product that I did like a couple 100 million views with, the videos for that were like so simple. Like I could film like 10 videos in like 2 minutes, and I literally did not edit them. And I put a sound on and a reply comment, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it depends. There's some, yeah, some a lot more difficult, but
I've seen a bunch of so big, like really, really big celebrities reacting to your videos, by the way. It's, have you seen that?
so, yeah, not like really big ones I haven't seen. Like
Like,
who are you?
I have to search the clips, but I remember like a couple of really big YouTubers, like with 10 million subscribers plus. The influencer stuff also is crazy, and I feel like that's the next step, which you should definitely go with as well. What would you say? What is the main advice you would give to like a complete beginner starting out with organic?
Just if you're like considering starting or anything, I would say like just go for it. Like if I could go back and tell myself, I would tell myself to start sooner. Like just stop worrying about everything, because most of the stuff you're worrying about, don't worry about problems you don't have yet, pretty much.
This, by the way, like one of those the biggest things I'm constantly saying over and over and over again. Who cares about supplier issues if you don't have
Right.
orders? Who cares about anything before you have the problem? And it stops you from like it just overwhelms everybody, and people get crushed by not starting. And it's like it's stuck to my head so much. This statistic from Mikey where he had like an affiliate link with this Pagefly thing, and like 80%, more than 80% of the people who signed up didn't start. He actually saw who made like a sale or started the store properly. It's hilarious. So
yeah, just say just forget everything else. Just like find an entertaining product, just order it, and just literally just start filming. You'll get the hang of it and eventually do better products. But just go for it. And obviously it helps to have a mentor as well. Get rid of all the unknowns completely and just focus on making the videos.
Yeah, basically just to summarize the program and your experience with it. How was it?
I mean, it's been like life changing. I mean, it didn't take very long after joining before I 5, 6, 7x the money that I spent on it, and I'm just getting started too. Like the products I've done so far, like they're decent, they're winners, but like there's some better products out there that I could go crazy with, and I'm sure I will.
This is not far from a 100K month, by the way. Like what you're having right now, it's not that far. I've seen this with like a bunch of people. The skill you have is like 90% there. It's just going to be changing up the products themselves to actual bank.
I almost had a third product to show on this video. The video got like 800K views in like one day, and then it got taken down, sadly.
It's gonna happen. Don't worry about it.
I've had a couple days with sales on like 3 different stores, but
even though it feels kind of inconsistent, it kind of is consistent, but because over the last couple of months it was like consistent profits overall. So yeah, if you look at like 3-month time frames, in the next 3 months you're gonna make more profit than in the last 3 months if you don't go too crazy on your college bullshit. But yeah, I think we can sum it up here and maybe do an update interview in a few months and see how everything went. Really appreciate it for everybody watching right now. First of all, if you already know how to go viral and you're just here to learn how to sell, you're a complete idiot for not starting yet. It's dumb. It's just dumb.
Right now.
Yes, right now. That's
you're literally you're losing money by not joining
every single day. And for everybody who doesn't know how to go viral, you're also losing money because you don't know how to go viral and then how to sell, because you're just one step away from being that idiot who knows how to go viral but doesn't know how to sell. And it's the step of you learning how to go viral. So in any case, if you actually have a bunch of time, you're actually in it. If you are like going to half-ass everything we're going to tell you, it's not going to work. I only want to work with people who are really into dropshipping. That's what they want to do. If that's you. Click the link below, sign up for a call, and we're going to find out if everything's a good fit.